Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Fang. Just Fang. Back with another Fang Tessa video. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. The newest Pirate101 update, Krokotopia, isn't that bad. Don't get me wrong, the bugs make this update quite literally unplayable. So I don't know if anyone's seen it, but my stream that I did with Cowardly Kevin and a few other viewers, thanks for stopping in if you did, we ended up counting up to 38 bugs, which is ridiculous. And the last bug that we encountered was, literally made the update unplayable. It was the Draconian Swashbuckler not spawning, so I couldn't even finish the update.
She's so smart and cool.
Wait, Lord of the Mistress is chosen.
Do we switch realms to fight together?
There's no guy. Sick. You had to stop here? It's bugged. No one can get to it? Wait, does no one know the final boss? Oh, wow. That's horrible.
It just doesn't spawn. That's so sad.
Well, I think that means that we get to bug number 101. Crops off the screen. Now, what you're seeing right now is me and Kev went on a little bit later when we actually got it to spawn, and we played the rest of it. So you're seeing that right now. Yeah, 38 bugs. We didn't recount bugs, so if there was like a visual glitch that happened throughout the entire time, we don't like count it once. So there is more than that, but that is also ridiculous. But I was pleasantly surprised to see the end of it with the new antagonist. Definitely a big spoiler warning. Just right now, I'm going to start talking about all this stuff. So if you haven't played it, play it. If you haven't watched someone stream it, watch someone stream. Someone who maybe actually finished it on stream. I know, right? But I know a lot of people are complaining about the bugs. I've seen like CV the Scares video about it. The bugs are not okay. I want you to look past it just for a second. Look past the not great gear, because Tartarus gear is still, I think, much better. Maybe they'll figure out a way to make it great, but for right now it's okay. Look past the entire ported area. This zigzag, I don't know, I think it was during my stream, someone said that it wasn't ported, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because I have not done zigzag in a long time. But apparently it is ported, so that's really awesome. So they kind of just made it daytime instead of nighttime for zigzag. But I like how they incorporated the story with it. But, even though it was ported, it gives me a sense of there's a future and a clear line for Pirate101. Now, Tartarus didn't really do this for me. Sinbad didn't really do this for me. I think we're focused back on the Armada, and then obviously that new antagonist. Like, finally being back from like, oh, we're going to Sinbad for the Eye of the Liger and whatever. We're going to Tartarus about your parents and whatever. We're finally actually going to see the Armada. Well, not the Armada, but El Dorado, and that is actually going to be playing a big story. Like I said in the Iceberg video, it's always been about El Dorado. It's always been about seeing our parents. And to make this with, I'm going to say her name, Oksana. I don't actually know if that's how you pronounce it, but the fact that she is in the race for El Dorado now is just really cool. And it's adding another suspense of like, oh, Kane wasn't the only one. Now you're going to have to try and beat Oksana, and it's going to, add a little bit more to the actual story, and it feels like we're finally back on that main storyline track. I know what some of you might be saying, well, Fang, they'll just keep adding ported dungeons and make the story go in all sorts of directions. And you know what, little viewer? You honestly might be correct, because that, realistically, seems like the easiest way they could do it. Just try and get some random ported dungeons and be like, oh, this makes sense to the story because blah, blah, blah. Which I think even with Zigzag, they kind of did that pretty well. And I think that if they do that, but if they do that in a way where they actually try with the story, I think it could be fine. Obviously, the gameplay aspect is not the greatest, but I think with Croc introducing that new antagonist is definitely something that they just wanted to boldly go like, boom, we are in. It feels like a new arc. We're gonna actually finally get to El Dorado, which is that end goal. So that'd be really nice. I also want to mention Sam Johnson, the narrative director. When talking with him, he is such a creative person, and I think, it stinks that, in the past, his ideas were scrapped, some of them. But, I see a little spark. I don't know. I mean, I assume he wrote this update, but I see a little spark in the story from this update and something that can be, really good in the future. Now, do I think we're going to get to El Dorado anytime soon? I honestly don't know because, it really matters what they want to do with these updates. I know some people, because in the dialogue it hints at Zafaria, they think like it might be like a ported to Mirror Lake they could do somehow, which that seems kind of goofy. I think that was just Kev who said that, but like they could just do ported dungeons more and figure it out. But I think it would be, at least in my way, Dragonspire would make the most sense here. Because one thing that KI really struggles with right now is making skyways. We know that their devs do not know how to make skyways. Now, Avernus just so happened to be an empty skyway where they can make islands and basically have a world without having a new world. It's like, hey, we added to this world because it was empty, so you're kind of making a new world. But, will this happen? I feel like this would be pretty good for resources. I mean, obviously making islands is a little bit much, but, it could be great for resources and just for exploration as well, because I love my skyways in Pirate. That's what makes it feel like Pirate. I think if they actually do a Dragonspire Avernus update, that would actually be really, really good. And it makes sense in the story because Oksana is from Dragonspire, which that could be the tipping off point to get that new world. So it could be really good. And I think it's cool that Oksana was like in the shadows the entire time. And how Kane was obviously the main bad guy, but apparently she was more of a bad guy. I don't really know her motives too well right now, but maybe she can come like reoccurring in the story, kind of like Morganth and Wiz. She kind of just comes back periodically, like in Zafaria you see her, in Avalon you see her. She could just come back and be like, boo, it's me and I'm still chasing you and whatever. But yeah, so also with Tartarus, I want to mention this again. We knew that we were going to Krokotopia, which was fine. I mean, it was good that we knew that, but I knew that it wasn't going to be real new world of Krokotopia. They kind of just said, hey guys, you're getting this, and then we're like, woo, and then they gave us the bare minimum. But now they hit us with a new villain, and we have to see where we're going. It adds a lot of interpretation, and we do not know anything about it. Where could we be going? We could be going to Polaris, probably not. We could be going to some random place that we don't even know yet, which that just is crazy to me. It's not, oh, we're going to this place confirmed now. We get to have a little bit of speculation before, there's hints, and that kind of drives people to get excited. Let's hopefully that excitement, Pirate101 actually, does something with that. But okay, let's just get back to reality, or snap back to reality for lack of better terms. The actual dungeon itself was pretty mid, I'm going to be honest. I did like how they reused the companions from the Draconian whatever pack. It was pretty smart and cost effective because, they could have modeled something new or just kind of plastered old Armada, which the Armada is fine always when they come in, it's interesting. But I'm glad that they had that, and, they kind of used their old assets, but not really that old, and it looks nice. So it just kind of feels like, oh, why are they here? Why are there portals? It's just out of convenience maybe, but maybe they can turn that into some kind of reasoning in the future. But the dungeon was alright. The use of the Draconians were pretty good, but the bugs ruined people's perception. Now, I know it's Test Realm, and in Test Realm you're always going to have bugs. That doesn't mean you want to present something that is absolutely a buggy mess that you cannot play. You need to introduce things that may have a little bit of bugs, but not gameplay breaking bugs. So the random chat bugs where a certain companion's supposed to talk and then the other one shows up. That's fine, they'll fix that in live realm. But when you have stuff where they can't progress because it's a solo fight for some reason, or they don't spawn, that's not okay. You can't be presenting stuff like that. So in defense of Krokotopia, it's not really Krokotopia's fault. It's more the story's there, the dungeon's alright, the use of draconians were pretty cool, but those bugs really, really ruined it. And if they can fix that, well, they kind of lost their first chance, because now people are making content that are saying, this is actually the worst thing ever. They had their chance. Now the next update they have to do needs to have less bugs. Like, Tartarus is fine, you could finish it. But I'll put that much. You don't... Playtest your game once, okay, before you give it to us. We're not your playtesters, right? I mean, we kind of are. Mine, honestly, and my stream ended up being a bug report, but like, come on. You need to at least make sure it's playable first. But, again, let's remember that this is like a tipping off point in the story for something a lot better, you know? Not stuck in Sinbad, not in Tartarus, not in Krokotopia, some tipping off point of a new antagonist that could go really anywhere at this point, and we're focused back in on El Dorado. So I'm really happy about that. That is why I defend Krokotopia, because I think it really feels like we are going to go somewhere now. Now, do I know where we're going? Absolutely not. Do I think we could go to El Dorado soon? I don't know, but the thing is, Pirate101 needs to do good now because they've opened it up. So now they need to actually do something that, you know, would make sense in the story, that isn't just completely random and convoluted and going off all the way into a different place. They need to actually, you know, focus up, lock in, if you will, and deliver something that makes sense in the story and then actually has good content. And if we can get both of those, we could see a resurgence of Pirate101 players. I know they're focusing on the Fatui. I haven't really seen that in this recent update. Maybe there's something. But for right now, it looks like they are focusing, hopefully, on the max players. So then they'll get more people to play. And then, you know, the whiz tubers who, if they actually make a big enough thing, they'll cover the pirate thing. And that just gets more people viewing Pirate101 and being like, oh, this game still exists and it's actually getting updated. So I think it could be good. I think it could be good. Now, should they move back the paywall? They should, and because they keep adding the new content. I gotta complain always in my videos. I think they haven't moved the paywall yet. They should do that. First time user experience. Come on, let's get that on there. But no, I get everyone's opinions on Krokotopia, and you know, you can't really stuff this buggy, but you know, the story is just, it feels like a main story. You see El Toro, you see Ratbeard, you see Contessa, you see Gracie, you see Bonnie Ann, of course. Like, you're seeing all these different companions interacting, and you know, that's pretty cool. You're seeing the Armada's back, and then a hint at the Queen is very interesting. And then, you know, a new villain. This just has so much in it. For such a small dungeon, it has so much jam-packed in it. No filler content. This is not filler. I mean, I hope it's not. So to be able to actually, like, play that and be like, oh my gosh, we are going back to El Dorado, or at least this is what Pirate101's story is, it makes me feel really good about it. But also the actual dungeon itself was very mid, and lots of bugs, which, yeah, if you just look at the story, you are pretty excited, which that I'm pretty excited. But if you look at the actual core gameplay, remember that this is Pirate101, and they aren't going to make the greatest thing on earth because of the lack of money or support or whatever it may be. Because I've seen like the Ammoplex be like, because I think Blimey was like, just so you know, we can't make a Skyway, blah, 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 blah. And then I see on the Ammoplex like responding, being like, you guys definitely can't, it wouldn't take that much resources. So that kind of angers me. But, you know, chill out. This is a happy video, you know. I think this is something good for Pirate, even though it might be not the best dungeon. The story implications and the future implications for updates really makes this a good update. And that's why I like Croc. It's not because it's Croc, it's because it can lead to something much greater than Sinbad, Tartarus, and Croc. So that's in defense of Croc. I really, really, really hope in the future they'll take what they have set up and make something great. But, you know, the problem is, it is KI. So probably not, to say the least. And that's going to do it for the video. Let me know in the comments if you like Krokotopia at all. I think, honestly, again, the story is what is going to make this a tipping point if they actually do it. If not, then this video is absolutely useless. If the next update is, oh, I don't know, Sinbad Part 4, that would be the most confusing thing ever, but, you know, for convenience sakes, they might do it, and this video would be horrible. But I guess it's just really up in the air until the next update hits. Hopefully in Live Realm they fix a lot of the bugs. I hope they fix all of them. They won't, though. because there's still some bugs in Tartarus for Pirate. But hopefully they balance the gear, see how it is. Maybe it is really good. I'm not 100% sure. But all the dialogue and all the story is really nice. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was it a good update? I think it met my expectations in most ways, but then exceeded it in the story. It's very interesting. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.